Hi everyone, this is Richard, otherwise known as Triple Valve Metro Camel. Welcome to the YouTube channel and thanks for checking out the video on the channel today. This is part 3 of Great British Locomotives Collection magazine, and here in front of me my good lady got me today issue number 3, which is all about the Flying Scotsman number 4472, very famous A3 loco in the UK. So this one is of course a static model, and we're going to get this out of the box very shortly and compare it to a standard Hornby model, which is the National Railway Museum commission model, and just really compare the two as before and just see what you think. So anyway, as you can see, you get a model with the magazine as per standard so far, and you get a very cool little booklet on the Flying Scotsman, which I haven't opened yet, but I dare say I will open very shortly at some point today or over the weekend, have a little look. But it's quite authentic, and we'll delve into this and hope you enjoy the video. So grab yourself a cuppa or something, a beverage of your choice, and something good to eat, and I'll see you in a bit. Okay, hi, welcome back to part 2. Well, here is the static model and my Hornby National Railway Museum commission model side by side for you to look at here today. So there's a pair of Flying Scotsmans, or double Scotch on the rocks, whatever you want to call it. And they look really stunning together. I mean, it's really is hard to pick out which one is which from a distance. It's only when you're getting closer and you have a little look, there's a few, or quite a few actual differences you can spot. So without further ado, I'll spin this around so we can look at the static model first. So just bear with me. Okay, so what I've done, I've taken the camera off the tripod so we can go wandering around with it and have a look at this more in better detail. So looking at the static model first up, it really does look quite impressive from a distance. It really does look like the Flying Scotsman model, and the first thing is the eye-catching paintwork on it. It's pretty believable. One of the most eye-catching things about the actual loco part itself compared to the tender is they've painted the motion and the driving running gear this really shiny metallic silver, if you like. It catches the light quite well and also catches the eye. On my sample here today, there's no flash that I can see of in between the driving wheel spokes and on the rims. It's pretty decent. The nameplate Flying Scotsman there on the loco part is not bad either. It's got a little crest on there as well, it's quite nice. Well, it's not bad for a static model. It's not 100% perfect, but it's not bad. It's quite pleasing to the eye from a distance. And generally, as a static model, I'd give this probably 10 out of 10 so far. It really is a decent model. One of the things I liked about this Flying Scotsman model is the fact it's got the banjo dome on the top, which is quite nice. Compared to the, I know the Hornby Railroad version has got the standard dome on there. This has got the correct banjo dome on there, so that's nice. They've got that on there at least. The double Carl Chap blast chimneys on there. A nice profile there with a nice little lip going on top of the chimney there. The German style smoke deflector's been captured very well, and they do actually sit quite well on this sample that I've got. They look very, very good and nice and even, should I say. They sit well. They actually look the part on there compared to the other model, which is also correct. Just comparing the two there. Anyway, let's go down and examine this loco even further. So on my static version, like I said, the cab comes with glazed windows. Now you all know how I feel about glazing in steam locomotive cabs. I think it's vital and important. So this model comes with glazing, so 10 out of 10 already for the cab glazing. The pony truck underneath the cab isn't too bad, although there's a part missing. I think it's a little piece of rodding that goes underneath there, the Cartasi truck I think it's called. It's supposed to go underneath the cab, a little arm that goes there and up to there somewhere. That's missing on there, they haven't put that on there. What else? The safety valves are on there, which is pretty good. They've even got two cab vents open there, which is quite nice. There's a really good rivet detail on the roof there, if you can pick that out at home. Looks quite good. If my camera doesn't blur up. And they've got a nice little footplate bit of detail there as well that covers the gap between the loco and the tender. There's some interesting detail on the tender for the water valves there. That's quite nice. Bless you, my wife just sneezed. You heard that on the camera. The cab itself isn't too detailed. In fact, there's nothing in the cab whatsoever of interest. There's no detail whatsoever. There's some nice moulded seats there for the fireman and driver to sit there, but there's no picked out reverser levers or any kind of detail in the cab whatsoever. That's about it. The tender itself isn't too special. They've basically used the same tooling, I imagine, for the edition number 1, which was the A4 Mallard. The only thing I can say I like about the tender, there's two things, is the profile between, you've got this lip finish here that meets the cab. That's quite a nice profile, that's very true to real life. And these wheels, now I'm not sure whether they did it on purpose or it's just the fact that it's been cheaply produced in the factory, but these wheels look a little bit grimy on the outside there, and that really does sort of finish it off quite nicely. There's a little bit of paintwork around the springs there, some red paintwork, you can pick that out at home. Which is not too bad. The tender is a bit of a letdown, guys, in terms of paint finish. The paint finish on the tender is wrong. This black line that goes all the way around the tender is basically wrong. It should have two very thin white lines on either side of the black strip, and this, on my sample, this black strip that goes around the tender, it looks like someone's got a felt tip pen and put it on. It's very thick and then very thin in some places. It's not even, and it's really a bit tacky and nastily put on. It's like someone's got a felt tip pen literally and gone round it. It really doesn't look very well. And I'm sure you guys at home can, if you wanted to, respray it and do your own decals on there if you wanted to. But from a distance it looks alright. But that's the only letdown really with the tender, and it's the same on the other side as well. The coal on top is quite believable. That's not too bad. Pretty much the same with the Mallard issue there on issue 1 of the magazine. The same sort of tooling I would imagine used for that. Now the rear of the tender is a little bit of a surprise because they've actually got this nigh on spot on. On my sample here you've got these lamp brackets actually stand out. They're separately fitted items on there. They really do look good. And you've also got the overhead warning line flashes on either side of the corridor tender, and it's the same on the Hornby model. And you can tell the difference because my Hornby model's got a glazed bit of window there. The circle window's glazed on mine. Obviously on this sample here it's not, as you can see. So overall it isn't a bad model, and like I said, if you want to put this on your desk at work or put it on a bookshelf at home, it is quite passable. On my sample, let me show you this, if I can quickly pick it up. This bit of driving rod here, on the other side of the loco there was, it snapped in half, and this bit here was loose, so all I did was glued it back together on the other side. You wouldn't even notice it, but apart from that it was in one piece. But it's just a really shame about the tender. This does bug me, this really cheap nasty black line they put around the side. It's a little bit naff. Anyway, I'll show you the real Flying Scotsman model, the proper version, which is here. Now you see what I mean about the tender. how the line is different. If you can compare the camera shot here, I'll just bring it in for you guys. You can see there, look at the static model paint job, and look at this nice finish by Hornby. Obviously this is a top end model, so you're going to expect something a bit more tasty. Do you see what I mean? You've got two very fine white lines that go around the main black line there, giving you that finish. And on the static model, it looks very trying, sort of ified if you want. It does look like a trying tender, to be honest with you.